Hi everyone, it's Deanna here again and welcome back with, I think I'm going to call them Health, Wealth and Oneness episode 3. Well, I'm going to obviously call them different numbers, but this will be Health, Wealth and Oneness episode number 3. If you think of a better name, let me know in the comments below. Because I'm going to be speaking to you guys about so many different topics. I'm not quite sure of a name yet, but hey, why do we have to label everything? Let's just go with the flow and see what happens. So I thought I would make another video for you all because there's more things on my mind that I'd like to chat to you about. And Inner Circle is again getting one step closer, so I'll make sure that I link that, and please enter your details and sign up to come along to one of the events, no matter where you're at in Australia, because you certainly won't be disappointed. And I'm so excited for it all to get started and for you to see what it's all about. So I wanted to jump on today and talk to you all about getting started with something new. My last video was all about finding your passion and following your passion and, well, mainly noticing your passion, because I think that's kind of the thing. A lot of the time I speak to people, again, being a vocal coach for the last 12 years, people come in because they want change in their life. They know that there's more and they want something different. But the main thing is that when you say to people, okay, well, what do you like? Most people don't know. That's a really hard question. What are you passionate about and what do you like? It's okay for the people who know, since I was young, I always wanted to be a chef, or I always wanted to be a dancer, and some people have been lucky enough to, from an early age, be encouraged to stick with the things that they truly enjoy. And that's why perhaps they're so successful even at young ages. And then some people know those things and it just niggles at them for a really long time, and eventually they come back to it. And when they come back to it, they become really successful in those areas. And remember that you can define success as whatever it is for you, because there's so many different levels. But then there's some people who feel like they kind of lucked out. They don't actually know what their passion is. And so we need to spend a lot more time noticing the things that we do. Now, one of the things that I have noticed is the number one thing for not being able to find, not knowing what your passion is the amount of distractions in your life that you currently have created to stop yourself from ever having the opportunity to reflect and think about that. So that's kind of why I think you don't know. Now, what do I mean by distractions? Distractions to me, from my personal experience, are things like hanging around with friends that perhaps no longer serve you, you're not in alignment anymore, and having conversations with people that don't really light you up. Conversation for conversation's sake. And you notice this a lot, particularly in friendship groups who tend to be driven by a lot of gossip, talking about what everybody else does. It's a juicy subject, so it's really it's a great way to distract yourself. Does everybody gossip? Yes, we all do it. But sometimes we need to notice if we're doing it to distract ourselves from actually taking the time to think a little deeper or have deeper conversations with each other that could perhaps spark some change in our lives. Watching TV is another big one. And I made the decision to really completely turn my TV off, apart from watching like a movie or something on the weekends, about 3 months ago now. And I cannot tell you how much more time you have in your life when you don't watch TV. Now, a lot of people say to me, but I couldn't do that. That's my me time. That's what I do to relax. Now, let me tell you, you might think that you're relaxed watching TV, but you're more stressed out, because you're being fed with drama that's not your own. You're being fed with thoughts that aren't your own, and they consume your mind. And whether or not you realize that, you do subconsciously think about these things all the time. It's adding more and more information into our into our lives, and you have to process that. And that's why you're tired all of the time, and that's why you don't have the energy to think about the things that you like, or even have the space in your mind to notice the things that you like. So I think the main message of my video today is to turn off your distractions. What I've noticed, again, by just a simple thing like turning off the TV at night, for the first week you'll kind of sit there before you go to bed and you'll be like, I'm bored. So pick up a book. And even if you don't read, I don't care. I don't read either. I used to hate reading. Pick up a book. Make sure it has lots of pictures if that helps. Or, I mean, sometimes I might watch a YouTube video, something educational, something that I'm interested in so that I can learn more about a subject, although watching screens before bedtime is not the greatest thing. But I found that sometimes if I don't want to read, the best alternative is actually to write. And I am a terrible writer, but I love to write in a journal. And since then, I've had so many journals this year that I just scribble and scribble and scribble my thoughts down. And it's conversations with myself that I write in there, because I find that through conversation, just like I'm having with you now, that's how I learn to articulate things. And when I learn to articulate things, I learn what I really need out of that conversation. I draw my conclusions. And I find that writing is also a big part of that brain dumping. So if you find yourself at a crossroads and you just don't know where to go next, and you don't know what you're passionate about, or you've got multiple things that you're passionate about and you perhaps don't know if you should be choosing one or if they could all work together. I know that that for me is definitely a huge thing. Can it all work together? Because I like things to be structured even though I'm creative. It's kind of like a double-edged sword. Pull out a notebook, put your pen to paper and just write anything that comes down to your head. I might write things like, what do I want right now? What am I feeling? What does it look like? And I'll just answer those questions to myself. And sometimes I go back over those notes and I use parts of it and they're genius ideas. And sometimes I never go back over them and I don't need it. I just needed to get it out the way, get it out of my brain, a bit of a brain dump. So that's my advice for this video. If you liked it, please like it. Please tag or share it with somebody that you think maybe perhaps might find it useful. And of course, I would love to hear your comments below on this subject as well, because the whole point in me doing these videos is to encourage more conversations, more positive conversations in our lives, and to spread more curiosity and wonder wherever we go. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.